It's the weather.
Good morning.
Good morning. We're stewing around here trying to get everything ready.
It's amazing how long it takes you to get an hour video ready.
Yes,
Mary, everybody
yes.
should do this at least
It
one
does.
time in their life. So welcome to our live show. I'm Linda
And I'm Mary.
with Pinky Mouse Cakes, Cookies, and Candy, also known as Pinky Mouse Sisters in the Kitchen. I'm going to turn the
Okay,
oven on.
go ahead. Nathan was my oldest grandson was at the house yesterday morning when I was getting ready to go live, and he seen what a stew I get into trying to get everything together. It just takes time, you know. When you're by yourself and you're in the kitchen cooking, you don't pay attention to it, and you may do things a little out of order that we don't want to do on videos, because we try to put this in order so it won't take as long, and also so it'll be easier for them to understand.
Yes.
You know.
I forgot our Valentine hats. They're back there, our little things. I bought them for today. Now it's by the way, happy Valentine's Day.
Yes, happy Valentine's. I've already got lots of texts of happy Valentine's. I may not be able to answer all of them, but happy Valentine's Day
Yes.
to all of you.
So we're going to start by mixing up a batch, and my glasses are dirty. Would you believe that?
No, I can't hardly believe that. For you.
We're going to start by mixing up a batch of cookies, and we're going to do this in sections, but we'll try to explain it to you. We will make the brown butter, and today we are making brown butter pecan cookies. I'm going to tell you, this is my third batch that I've made in like 4 days.
Just the sound of it.
They are
delicious.
absolutely scrumptious,
Yeah.
and y'all know how Mike rates everything that I do, and on a scale of 1 to 10, he doesn't give 10s. Just FYI.
Yeah.
And he's brutally honest. He is. Do you want to gave these?
Did he give it a 9?
9.45. That's about the highest score he's ever given me.
Yeah.
So
that's good.
That means they were really good. So
I haven't tasted them, but I'm going to today.
So, Mary, my glasses will drive me nuts if I don't go clean them. So you just,
Okay.
I guess
Do you want to go ahead and start measuring?
You can.
Okay.
We'll do that later, because
Okay.
I hope y'all stay with us here. It is going to take a little while to do this, because we're mixing up a batch, then we're baking, and we're making the brown brown butter.
Slow down, Linda. Slow down, Linda.
I don't drink coffee, y'all, so I'm not hyped up because of coffee, but I'll be back in a second, Mary.
All right, go ahead. I'll go ahead and I'm gonna tilt that camera up a little bit, because when we stand up, you cannot see us. Okay. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and mix up the flour for this. She wants 2 cups, and I still got my head cut off. So I am going to. That's 1 cup of flour, and I'm gonna move this camera again. All right, maybe our heads won't be cut off. So that's 2 cups of flour. Did you get your glasses clean?
Yes, I did. I just cannot deal with glasses that are dirty.
Yeah.
I can't.
Okay, 2 cups of flour. No, it's 2 1/4 cups.
And it's all purpose.
And all purpose. I figured it was, but I was going to wait nasty. So 2 1/4 cups of all-purpose flour. I'm going to move the flour out of the way if you don't mind.
Yes.
Well, I don't know how to
Just set it on the table. It'll be fine, Mary.
And 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. Linda, I'm going to move that camera again. It's cutting our heads off.
Okay. Well, it's probably because we're standing up.
Yeah, it is because we stand up. Okay.
I'm going to let you finish that before I start telling them what I'm doing.
2 tablespoons of cornstarch.
And I will tell y'all that this is the first cookie recipe I've ever done with cornstarch in it.
I can't remember if I've ever done one or not, but that's just the going thing now, it seems like. Okay. And 1 teaspoon of salt And this is 1 teaspoon of soda and 1 teaspoon of salt.
It's hot.
Are you
You're
hot?
probably not hot.
I'm
are
not
you?
hot.
I'm burning up.
Okay,
So
all right, that's all. I got all the dry ingredients together. Now I'm gonna.
You're gonna whisk
Yeah.
that together.
Yes, and it drives me crazy if this camera's not
Now
straight.
this is my brown butter, and I'm going to show y'all how to do this. But we got to get this mixed up first because we wanted to show you how to mix up a batch. This is 2 sticks or 1 cup, and it is salted butter. And like I said, I'll show you how to do it. You want to make sure you see that little tiny brown in the bottom. You want to make sure you get every bit of that in your bowl. So I'll show y'all.
Now, do you have to cool that before you?
It does have to be cooled, and I made this first thing this morning. You see all that brown stuff in the bottom? That's good stuff. Don't make sure you get that in there.
That's your brown sugar, isn't it? Butter's the butter. Is
Now
that
this
right?
is all butter.
Is butter no brown sugar? It's just all
We're
butter?
going to put brown sugar in it, but this
Oh.
is what brown butter looks
Okay.
like.
I understand. Yes, I understand now.
Got it?
I got it.
I'm sorry,
I had a brain freeze there
Just
for a
had
few
to do
minutes.
it. Oh, Lordy Jesus.
I
God,
don't
dear.
remember what it was, but I did something one time with brown butter, but I don't remember what it was. It's better. I don't know.
I want all of that in there, so I'm trying
Yeah.
to scrape every bit I can. Okay, so with this, I have got 1 packed cup of Imperial brown sugar. We are sponsored by Imperial. Great products. If you can get it in your area, it's
Yes.
really worth it.
Yes.
If you have brown sugar that's old, now this is light brown sugar. Dark brown sugar has more of a molasses taste to it,
Yes.
and it's going to be stronger. So I recommend that you use light. If you have old brown sugar that's got lumps in it, you need to take those out or soften it in the microwave. But you have to be very careful doing that because you'll melt your sugar. Okay, 1 packed cup of light Imperial light brown sugar, and then 1/2 a cup of Imperial granulated sugar. Now I'm going to mix this together with my mixer. Don't that smell good?
It does. Yes, it does.
It has a real nutty flavor to it and smell. Now I've already used out of this bag, so I know there's a couple little spots in here, but this is soft, so all you can do is just mash it. It's not hard. Some of that, if it gets hard, it's almost like
Yeah.
you can't do anything
With
with
that
it.
brown sugar, yeah. I take it out whenever I find them like that before I start cooking with them.
But I've already used out of this bag, so I know this is, oh, that right there does feel a little bit
I
hard.
don't know why it does that.
I'm going to take that piece out.
Don't.
Mary, would you pour me
What do you want me to do?
yeah, it was soft. Pour me a tablespoon of vanilla. Now that sounds like a lot of vanilla, but you want to use vanilla extract, and you want to use, well, if you can afford it, you want to use vanilla extract. I know there are times in everybody's life that you might not could afford the best, but if you can, that's what you need to use. And if you'll break me those eggs, Mary, you can just put them in that cup. Thank you.
It's 2 eggs.
And these are extra large, but there's not much difference in the extra
ain't?
large and the large.
No, it's not.
Thank you, Mary. Okay, after I get this beat up, a lot of y'all might think we were raised in the country. We were not raised in the country. We were raised inside the city limits of Nacogdoches. But pour me about 1/3 of that flour in here. Okay. For those that don't know already, East Texas has their own little dialect. And it's a little bit different than other parts of Texas. So if y'all hear us saying we'll be right back or You know something? That's East Texas dialect. It doesn't mean that we're uneducated or unlearned. That's just how we talk.
I didn't even realize that I said taters yesterday for potatoes, but until I read one of your comments. Because
Okay.
that's just the way we talk.
Yes, it is. Okay. So we're putting these dry ingredients in there in about thirds, and if you're lucky enough to have a sidekick helping you, you don't have to stop your mixer, and you can just keep beating it.
It sure does have to have some help.
Yeah, it sure does. Okay, I'll take the rest of it, Mary. Thank you. Okay. Okay, so we got it all mixed up. Now, this has to chill.
And how long do you have to chill it?
And
Brenda?
the recipe for our members, it's going to tell you to chill it for 3 hours. You don't, or overnight, you don't actually have to chill it for 3 hours, but you do need to chill it for probably at least half that time. And if you don't, cookies will run, and you want these to be really nice and round, and you want them to hold their shape. So don't just, I think you can just mix up a batch and bake them. You need to make sure that you've got time to chill them.
So you put this in there after you chill them?
I'm going to put it in there now because
Okay.
this is a stiff cookie dough. And because it is a stiff cookie dough, and you could see that when I was mixing it up, you might think, oh, this doesn't need to be chilled. It does need to be chilled, but put the pecans in it, and you want to just fold them in there.
That's 1 cup?
1 cup of toasted and chopped
And
pecans.
you've already measured this?
Yes, that is measured. And you want to make sure these are cool. You want to do all this prep work ahead of time. I'm just going to fold it in with my bowl scraper. I mixed it with my mixer earlier.
When you get that mixed, I want to show them, put it closer to the camera.
Okay. I probably should have got some gloves in here
I thought I had my phone off.
so I can mix this with my hands. I think I can get it with my bowl scraper. It's a beautiful, beautiful cookie dough. And you can tell by looking at this how it comes together. And we're going to pour this off on parchment. And I'm going to tell you a couple little tricks. You can show it to Mary. And I'll get a piece of parchment here.
That's after it's, before we put it in the refrigerator.
Isn't that beautiful?
The way it looks, it does. It smells divine.
So I'm just going to use a piece of parchment. And we're going to just empty this off on here and put it in the refrigerator. Anytime that you got good cookie dough, it comes away from the bowl perfect. And if you don't, then something is not right with your proportions. Now, you know, obviously, I haven't baked every cookie that's ever been invented, but I have baked a lot of cookies. And I put a lot of pecans in these. If y'all don't want to put that many, put a half a cup. You could use almonds. I don't think I would use anything other than pecans or almonds because it's going to alter the taste of this. And you just want to wrap this up like a package and put it in the...
Let me put it in the refrigerator.
In the refrigerator, yes.
You want one in the larger room? Or?
Yep, you can find a place for it, Mary. I've got another batch in there already. That's why.
You want me to bring that out or not?
Yes, go ahead and bring that because we're going to do that next. I'll get some of this.
Here, I'll move that away while you do
out
this.
of here.
Let me take care of this while you do that.
And we're going to be doing a giveaway today. Did you say that Carla's monitoring us?
No, she's at the doctor's office.
She's at the doctor's office. So we'll have to announce the winner after this. But we are going to be giving something away, and we're looking for a certain comment. So I know a lot of people watch us, Mary, that don't always comment. And we don't want to, we don't want to shut anyone out of the drawing. So, And by the way, until we get this figured out, the drawings are going to be from the people who are watching us live. So until we figure out how to do this with replays, we are going to include y'all. We
Yes.
just haven't got it figured out yet.
Well, I think I'm not going to tell them now, but
think you
I've
have?
got it figured out for the ones for YouTube. Yes.
Okay.
But I will explain that to you on YouTube.
Now, I put this in the refrigerator. You feel it's pretty stiff, Mary, right?
Yes.
And
Yes,
I put this in the refrigerator, I don't know, probably about 7:30, so it's been in there about 2.5 hours.
Okay.
Don't put it, this is very important, y'all. Listen to the teacher. Do not put it in the refrigerator in a bowl. It will be hard as all get out to take it out of the bowl. Put it in either wax paper, parchment paper, put it in a Ziploc, whatever you want to put it in, but take it out of the bowl.
And kind of flatten it.
Yeah, and it's because it's very, very stiff. I literally almost bent a stainless steel spoon Sunday because I left it in the bowl.
I ruined one of my cookie scoops doing that one time.
Well, here was the plan. The plan was we were eating supper. We eat supper between 4 and 5. And we were eating supper, and as soon as we got through with supper, I was going to come in here and take the bowl out, roll the balls, roll the cookies into balls. Well, Mike put on a Hallmark movie, so I sat there for an hour and a half and watched that movie. And by the time I got back in there, that cookie dough was stuck to the bowl.
Is that right?
So, just a word to the wise, put it in something, paper, wax paper, freezer paper, parchment paper, Ziploc or whatever. Don't put it in the refrigerator to chill in a bowl. Okay, so we're going to get, we're going to move a couple of things around here.
So what you need, I'll get it for you.
We're going to, we're both going to have to wash our hands, and I think
mine.
I think I'm going to get gloves to do this because just to be on the safe
Okay, well
side.
then get me some too then.
So we're going to roll these in balls,
Okay.
and I've got cookie scoop. You can use a cookie scoop, but I also weigh mine, and y'all don't throw darts at me. I like for them to be about the same size, and sometimes even using a cookie scoop, you might get a little more or a little less.
I try my
one.
best to get them same with the cookie scoop, and not every time. They're pretty uniform, but they may not
So
be the same.
you can unwrap this, and I'll get the tape over here,
Okay. And some gloves.
and I'm gonna go in there and get us some gloves, and I gotta get my cookie pants out.
Okay. I'll go ahead and we'll do a shout out to. Is it okay to go ahead and do it, Shadow?
Sure, while I'm doing this.
Debbie and Janet, thank y'all so much. We got a package in the mail yesterday.
Isn't that beautiful?
Isn't that beautiful? Sent us, both of us, a tea towel for Easter. Isn't that beautiful? And then these mittens, these are oven mittens. This is Linda's. I brought them to Linda, and I've got a pair at home. I tried them on yesterday, and I said, oh my goodness, that would be so nice. I don't know.
Those
They're
are
thick.
really
The
nice.
oven mitten. They're real thick, and they're gloves, and they come up high enough that if you touch your arm on the oven, that you won't get burnt. So I'm looking forward to using mine because sometimes mittens is a little hard for me to think I'm grabbing the pot right, Linda. Do you? But these are gloves. They
Yes,
fit your
I
fingers.
really like that.
Thank you, Debbie and Janet.
That was so sweet of y'all.
Yes.
So I do have the 2 tablespoon cookie scoop. I've used my butter wrapper to just kind of butter it a little bit. I've got a bowl of imperial granulated sugar, and in the recipe, I believe it says 1/4 cup. That's for 1 batch. We're doing multiple batches, so I probably got about 1.5 cups in here.
Okay.
And we're going to make the balls, and then we're going to roll them in this.
These are probably small gloves, aren't they?
They're large.
Aren't
They're
they?
actually large.
They look small, don't they?
Yep.
They probably stretch.
I want these balls to be about, now these are big cookies. if you have children, your grands, or you're giving them to an older person that might not want a big cookie, you can certainly put these down to 1 ounce, 1.5 ounce, or whatever your preference is. Is that okay? Can you get them on?
Yeah, I get them on. They're just awful tight.
Those big ones are so loose
Yeah.
that that's why I got these. But I don't know. We may have some bigger ones in there. I'm not sure.
That's okay. I get it all. Your hand is smaller than mine.
Yeah, I have got little small hands. Trying to get 2 fingers in one.
I did the same thing. Oh, finally, I'm afraid I'm gonna rip the glove trying to pull them on.
If you do, I got plenty more. So we want this to be about, and I've got just a little deli sheet on top of the scales so I don't put my cookie dough right on the scale. We're gonna roll them in balls first, and I think Mary said we can kind of do this together.
Okay. Just tell me what to do.
I want you to weigh them.
All right.
This may not be.
What are you wanting them to be?
I'm wanting them to be around 175 or 1.8. That's not that big, is it?
7.1.
Oh, that's not even an ounce. Okay, I got the wrong cookie scoop. I needed the big one.
Okay.
Well, I'm just gonna go ahead. You can just help me. Just pinch off some and
Okay.
try to get it to where it's about 1 point.
So you want me
It's
to
a pretty
add
big.
some more
Yeah,
of this
it's a
one?
pretty big ball. It's gonna be like a big, a huge walnut, maybe like a black walnut.
Okay.
About the size.
So how
of
do I
it.
clear that? That's back on 18. I hadn't used my scales in so long. Did you touch that?
Yeah.
Okay. That's 159. It's too much?
Okay. No, it needs to be about 175 or 1.8.
Oh, okay.
If you make them big like this, it's going to make about 22 cookies.
That's too big. This ain't my, once, well, it went 198 and then went to 200.
Okay, well, I'm pinching off too much here.
That's 155.
See how stiff this dough is?
But it's still not, it works good.
Yeah.
That's 190. That's too much.
Okay, that's fine. Between 180, 185, 190, you know, I want them to be kind of the same size, but some of them are going to be a little bit.
Now, do you want me to put this on the cook?
No, because we got to
Okay.
roll them. Put them over here on the
Okay.
parchment so we'll
Okay.
know
Okay.
about the ones that we know of we've already sized.
That's 198. I'm going to take
okay,
just
that's a
tad
little bit
off.
too much then.
Yeah. 187. Okay. I guess here I'll let you roll them and I'll just
Okay.
weigh them. 194, a little bit too much.
I think it makes it pretty when they're a big cookie.
Yeah.
Especially because it's Valentine's. And we've been taking packages all week to people, which I know, I guess today's Tuesday, it ain't been that many days, but did you take some over the weekend?
No.
You mailed some yesterday.
I mailed yesterday $80-something worth.
Oh, ouch.
Ouch. Yeah, I know. Ouch was, but that's okay. That's okay. I'm trying to think what I did Sunday. I mean, I went to church. I always take somebody something. I did give somebody something Sunday. I did. But I'm always doing that. Okay.
Now, once we get these all ready, we're going to, while these are cooking, we're going to be making the brown butter. So, you know, Valentine's Day is a cute day for kids and for young people.
Yeah.
You know,
Now, I'm not rolling those.
that's okay.
I'm just putting them over there.
As
Is
long as
that
I
okay?
know they're weighed, that's fine.
Okay.
It won't take long to roll them.
Still a little bit too much.
But it's still a fun day, and I know, you know, not everybody necessarily goes all out for Valentine's, but I love the colors, I love the hearts, and am I putting too much in them?
Yeah, but that's okay. I'm just in it. I love Valentine's too, but I think of Valentine's more for the kids than I do adults.
Yeah,
you know?
me too.
I just that's who I think about whenever I'm.
I told
Now-
Mike this morning, he's gone to the dentist, and I told him, I said, don't you dare bring me no box of candy. I'm not a big candy eater now.
I'm
Now,
not either.
I did buy him a box, but, and I'll show y'all something after a while when we have time. I think I told y'all one day that Mike always bought me clothes for Valentine's. That's what I preferred. I'd prefer a new dress or a new blouse than to a
Yeah.
box of candy.
Yeah. Yeah, me too.
Okay. 10, 12. 2, 4, 6, 8. 10, 12, 14, 16, 17.
76.
You might not have to be quite as precise, but
I'm trying to please you, Linda. What I don't understand is when it says 190 and you take a barely a peach off and it
Yeah.
goes back to the 80s.
it's because of the nuts. And you're doing great, Mary. You're doing great.
That's 148.
18, 20. Okay. It's gonna be, this is 22. One of them's not quite as big, but that's about what I got yesterday. Okay, so we'll move this out of the way, and then we're going to, you want to roll in the palm of your hand to get a nice round ball. And that's how you do it when you're doing something with fondant and stuff, trying to make something out of shape. And
Do
then-
you want me to put them on the? On
No, they gotta be
Okay.
rolled in sugar
Okay.
first. And I only cook one pan at a time. If y'all are comfortable cooking on the second rack in your oven, you can. But I am not going to
I
risk
don't.
a cookie burning by cooking them on the
Yeah.
bottom rack.
I
So,
don't use my bottom.
I don't
cookies,
recommend
but
it.
Mine will burn.
I'd rather cook one pan at a time, 6 cookies at a time, and them come out pretty, than
Yes.
cook a pan trying to hurry, trying to rush.
Yes.
You don't rush baking. If you want something to turn out really nice, then you need, first of all, you need to make sure you've got enough time to do it. Make sure at the beginning, before you're going to make something, check your pantry, make sure you got all the ingredients. This is pretty much pantry ingredients, don't you
Yeah.
think?
Yeah.
Eggs, brown
Butter.
sugar, granulated sugar, butter, vanilla, baking soda, cornstarch. Most everybody keeps that in their pantry, don't you think?
Yeah, I think so.
You might have to buy pecans, but if you're like
We
we
do.
are,
If you bake, you do.
if
you're
you
a
bake,
baker.
you have stuff like that.
Yeah.
And if you have them left over for Christmas, from Christmas or the holidays, Thanksgiving, put them in your freezer. Put them in a Ziploc and put them in your freezer, and that's going to keep them fresh.
Yeah.
And if you want something to taste extra good, make sure that you toast your pecans and allow time for them to cool. And I know y'all heard us say that many times. So we're gonna roll the whole ball in sugar. You can just start using some too. And I'm only cooking 6 on a cookie sheet. And I'm just gonna put the ball on the cookie sheet right in the middle of the thing here. And we're gonna go ahead and do all of these because once we pull our gloves off, we're gonna be doing something else. This would be something that the kids could
Yeah,
help
the
do.
kids would love to do this with me.
And you know, if you're baking at home, you don't necessarily have to put gloves on. We are taking some of these to a few people today, so we're being a little bit extra cautious wearing the gloves. And I've got the oven on at 375, and these are going to cook no more than 12 minutes. And don't freak out, because 12 minutes seems like a long time to cook a cookie at 375. But these are big cookies. They're not small. Now we got one more step to do to these before we cook them.
Oh, you do mash them?
Yeah, but we got to put the pecan in the middle first.
Okay.
And our last pan will have just, oh, whoops, I think I was throwing sugar everywhere. Yeah, the last pan will just have 4 on it. That's what I've been doing. Now once you're through with the sugar, we're not going to be through with it because we've got more cookies to do, but just toss it because you're rolling sugar, you're rolling raw cookie dough and sugar, so you don't want to put this in a bag and save it. And this will just be extra ones, and we'll stick these on a paper plate here, Mary, these extra ones. Okay, so again, we're not going to toss this, but, and before I take my gloves off, I'm going to show y'all the last step.
Do you need the sugar anymore?
Not right now.
You got sugar left there?
Now here I am, have my hands on the counter. I'll use my right hand to do this. Well,
Here, let me get
stick that in that garbage bag over there, Mary. And there should be, where did I put the bag with pecan halves in it? Is it over there or is it on the table?
Here they are.
Okay. So you want to have a pecan half toasted again for every cookie that that you're doing. And so what you're going to do, and when you're toasting them, you want to look on both sides of the pecans. Now, y'all can call me particular, snotty, or whatever you want to call me, but nobody wants to bite into a cookie that's got a piece of pecan shell or a piece of that bitter stuff.
Yeah,
so you need to check both sides of your pecans, and I do it before I toast them. And when you toast your pecans to chop, I do the same thing because some of that stuff is going to come out when you start chopping. Don't put those little pieces in the bottom.
Pieces,
just leave them in the plate and throw them away. So you want to put a piece of pecan right in the middle and just take your palm and press down.
You want it flat?
Yes, I want it flat.
Okay.
And this is how they're going to cook.
Am I doing it flat enough?
Yeah, that's good. Okay, so we'll go ahead and put pecans on these just so we'll have them ready. If
you
you'll
wanna
pop
put this
those
in
in
the
the oven
Okay.
on the top shelf, Mary, and
Set the timer.
set the timer for 12 minutes. Please.
Timer.
Now these may look like they're not going to spread out, but they are going to spread out, and they're going to make a very nice sized cookie. That rain, it is pouring out there.
It sure is.
Whoops, a couple extra ones there. And we are using the silicone pads on this. They're just, it just makes it so much nicer when you
I love these
when you
silicone
cook
pads.
with these. I'm just going to do these here, and then we can just pick up the cookie and put them on the
Yeah.
cookie sheet. You need more pecans?
Yeah, 2 more. I hope I'm mashing these flat enough.
Yeah, they look good. Oh, did you need more?
I needed 2.
Oh, I thought I gave you 2. I must have kept one of them in my
You
hand.
missed out.
Okay, I want to say hi to Kathy LePage, my friend in California, is watching us this morning. And she texted me earlier this morning and told me Happy Valentine's Day, like a lot of other people. Linda Joyce called, and I'm going to take these off here. And we're going to throw those away.
And Miranda, she's got where she watches us nearly every time, and I forget to say hi.
Hi, Miranda.
So
and
hi,
Kinley.
Miranda and
I guess
Kinley.
Bradley's
Bradley's probably at school, yeah. And,
Okay, so I'm going to get a couple of cookie sheets out, not cookie sheets, trays out. Where's my black tray at?
And we also, Fran Powell sent us some pecans.
Yes, you got to show those pecans, Mary. Please. Let me take the tag off.
Thank you, Fran.
And these are beautiful. They're toasted
And salted
I
pecans.
cannot wait to use these. And she sent us a sweet Valentine's Day card.
She
too.
sent both of us 2 pounds. Thank you so much. You're so
And
sweet.
Fran is one of our sweet friends that actually drove to Alabama to see us when we spoke at the Save the
Yes,
Children
she did.
conference.
Yes, she did.
So we love Fran, and we're so happy that you watch us. So I've got my trays here. Mary,
What you need me to do?
put some paper towel, tear out big enough sheets to put under each of those trays.
Okay.
And then I'm going to come over here, and we're fixing to start making the brown butter. And I'm going to let you monitor the cookies
Okay.
while I'm doing the brown butter, or vice versa, whichever.
Now, I guess I'll find out in a minute. Is this just for the crumbs?
Yeah, just for the
cookies?
crumbs.
Okay.
I could have put pans
Okay.
under it,
Okay.
but
All right.
I just figured I'd do it.
I thought maybe you was going to drip something over them. Okay. All right. So what are you doing now? The brown sugar?
Here.
You do not the brown sugar, but
We're
the brown
going to do
butter.
the brown butter.
Well, I'm gonna take the camera over there so they can
Okay.
watch you.
Now, again, I'm going to tell you the steps that you need to do this in, but I always heat my boilers before I start doing something. I got in the habit of doing that a year or so ago, and it makes a big difference. So this is a Sam's boiler. If you have a shiny boiler, that's what you need to use, or pot or saucepan, whatever y'all call them in your neck of the woods. Most all of our Pampered Chef stuff is dark bottoms.
Yeah, right.
Don't
right.
touch that bone.
So
right
what's
now.
the what makes the difference?
I think it's because if it's brown, it's going to brown it faster. If you're using a
Oh.
dark skillet,
Okay.
you know how our Pampered Chef stuff browns stuff
Yeah,
really fast? This is a shiny boiler. So
Okay.
don't go out and buy one if you don't have one, but you need to monitor it. You can always go to Goodwill and look for one. You know, when we made peanut butter
You can't buy those size at Sam's
No.
anymore.
years ago, that's what I did. I
Yeah.
didn't have boilers. I went
Yeah.
to Goodwill, and that's what I bought. So I unwrapped, and this is another little tidbit. I unwrapped my sticks of butter. I'm using 2 sticks, 1 cup. This is salted. While it was cold, if you let it get soft and unwrap it, you're going to have a lot
Yeah.
of butter left on your wrapper.
Yeah.
Butter is very expensive right now, just like a lot of other things. And of course, I always scrape the sheets, but it just makes it so much easier to get off if you do that. So my boiler is hot, and I'm putting, did have a little bit left in there. I'm putting my brown butter. I'm just using a metal spoon. You can use a spatula, whatever you want to use to do this. Now, when you start doing this, you have to make sure that you give this your undivided attention. Butter will burn.
Yes, it will.
So once it starts melting, and you can see my boiler was hot, so it's already melting, you need to stir this constantly.
Yeah.
And depending on how high you've got your burner, in the recipe I said low to medium. If you have it on medium, it's going to take about 8 minutes to make this. If you have it on low medium, it's going to take 9 or 10 minutes to make it. Your arm's probably going to get tired of stirring, but you have to just pretty much constantly stir it. And you'll see when that starts to turn that golden brown color.
Yeah.
And then you'll smell it, and you know about when it's ready. So just to start with, we're going to just get it melted, and then I'll start stirring it. Now, you need to allow enough time for this to cool completely. You don't want to put it in there hot. It's going to melt your sugar. And anytime you have melted butter, it changes the consistency of whatever you're baking. So I told this story before, but when we lived in Albuquerque years ago, one of the girls that I work with, I brought some Sandies to work, and she asked me for the recipe. I'm scared to death you're going to touch that
I'm not
burner,
going to touch
Mary.
that. I'm not going to touch it. I'm watching this camera so I can get a good picture.
I gave her the recipe. Next time I saw her at work, she told me that was a bad recipe, that it did not work.
I know what she does.
And I said, I was asking her different questions, and and did you use softened butter? She said, yeah, I melted it. I said, well, there's your problem, honey. You have to follow the recipe.
Exactly. Some recipes you cannot melt the butter. If it says soft, that don't mean melted.
Yes. And seasoned cooks know these things.
Right.
But we've been cooking since we were 8, 9 years old.
Yeah.
Well, actually wasn't cooking. I was greasing pans. But
Now you can
that's
tell
another
that
story. But we have been around cooking and baking pretty much all of our lives. And done baking since we were young kids or young girls. I put it like that. You did start baking at 9.
Yeah, I did. I made cornbread.
It's things that you learn, just like the butter wrapper, or just like the don't chill your cookie dough in a bowl, put it on some paper. Things like that that you think that everybody knows, Mary, but everybody might not know to do that.
Yeah, it just surprises me all the time about the way we think and way we come up with your comments of what you think. Those salmon patties I made yesterday, I figured nobody had ever heard of them or didn't like them, and practically everybody had already heard of them, and I didn't know that. I didn't know people. It's the first time I'd made them things in over 15 years, because Bobby was the one that.
Well, I think Mike likes salmon patties, but I don't.
I knew you didn't.
But sometimes the same thing with the recipe, Mary. We'll think that, this is just the simplest recipe, and nobody's going to like it, and everybody will just rave over it.
Yeah.
Now, y'all better not disappoint me today.
Oh, these are going to be delicious. Everybody's going to like this
This is one of the best cookie recipes, and let me tell you, I have some cookie recipes that I've made probably over 50 years. This is in the top 5. Yeah. It is absolutely
I have got so many recipes that I'm wanting to share with y'all, but we can only do so many in a week. But I have got, and Linda too. Linda's got a lot of them that we're both working on some different new recipes.
Yes, we are. So the butter is completely melted, and I'm just kind of doing my spoon kind of like you would if you were cooking a steak and you're putting butter over it.
Yeah.
Or like, I don't cook scallops, but you've seen chefs just spoon butter over shallots or steak or whatever they're cooking, and I'm just going to start stirring this, and I'm just going to stir it constantly.
Well, I'm just going to leave it on the pan so they can see when it starts changing.
So prep work, I would say toast and chop your pecans.
Yeah.
Take your halves out for however many cookies you're going to make. If you're making one batch, depending on the size.
Yeah.
Now, if you're making a small cookie, I probably would just put a piece of a pecan on it. Wouldn't you, Mary?
Yes.
And not put a whole half. And get that done, and get your brown butter done. And let that cool. It can even set out overnight, the brown butter.
Linda, where did you get this recipe? I'm going to see if I can read some of the comments. Where did you get this recipe?
A lot of times we will see a recipe and then we adjust it. And there was some cookies that I saw on the internet that I kind of like, and I kind of put my own spin to it.
Okay. And the name of these cookies are
brown butter pecan cookies.
Okay. Brown butter pecan cookies.
And for my husband, and I hate to keep harping on this, but for my husband to have eaten some of all the batches that I've cooked over the last 3 days, they are really excellent. They're good with coffee or tea or
yes, those those mats, baking mats are excellent.
And it's almost time to take this first batch out.
Okay. You want me to check them?
I think I'll wait. It's got about 30-something seconds.
Okay. All right.
They should be done. Okay. Whoops. I'm gonna splattered it.
I'm gonna leave the camera where it's at because we're gonna be opening that oven in a minute so they can.
And you might need another pad out there to set the cookie sheet on. We're going to leave them on there about 4 or 5 minutes. That's another thing. You don't want to take cookies off of your baking sheet as soon as they come out of the oven. They're soft. They need to set 3 or 4 minutes, and then make sure you got a spatula big enough to scoop the cookie up with.
Ooh, it is a big cookie.
I told you.
What do you think?
Yeah, they're done. Okay, just leave it open. I'll put another one in there.
See?
Would you scoop that back and push that back in the mirror? Thank you. And then set the timer for 12 minutes, please. The time, just hit the time, clear.
I know, and I hit the time.
Hit clear and then timer. And this is the spatula that I'm going to use, or Mary's going to use to take these up and put them on the rack. It's a big enough spatula that it's going to pick the cookie up and it's not going to break.
I'm going to show them your.
See, it's starting to turn a little, but it's still pretty yellow. So you just want to keep stirring. It seems like it starts turning brown just in the blink of an eye, after you've been stirring it for several minutes. And you want to put this in a heat-proof container. And I've been using the small leak-proof container.
Yeah.
And I'll tell y'all something else too. For those of you who might know this, don't put something hot in a glass container that's cold. And don't let it cool where there's cold air blowing. If it does, it's gonna bust.
Yeah.
So what I do, a little trick that I do, is I stick it in the microwave. And Mary, can you show them what I use there? The leak-proof. It's got those beaters in it.
Is this that little 3/4?
Yeah, that's a small container.
Yeah.
And I stick it in the microwave and warm it for like 15 seconds before I pour the hot stuff in it to cool.
Yeah. Okay.
And that keeps it from pouring hot stuff in a cold, especially in the winter. Because stuff in your cabinets, when you take them out,
I know. Cold. I got out what was it? It was a pot. Oh, it was a Dutch oven the other day. I was going to when I was making that bread, and that thing was cold. I thought, I'm not putting this in that hot oven.
No, you can't do that.
That Dutch oven has got the enamel on the inside, and so I put some hot water in it.
And that's another way that you could do it. Now y'all will see there's a little bit of that butter on the spoon right there, and I'm gonna just take my scraper and I'm gonna put that down in there.
Let me get a little closer so they see what you're talking about.
There, see all that's on your spoon. Just take
your hand was in the way.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Well, it'll probably get on there again. I can show y'all.
Yeah.
Like if any of it gets on the spoon, just take a scraper and wipe it down.
And about how long do you cook this? Didn't you say about 8 minutes?
It's 8 to 10 minutes, depending on what you got your burner on.
Okay.
And I didn't time this because I didn't get my other timer out. We got the timer set for the cookies, but this has probably been cooking about 4 or 5 minutes.
Okay.
I imagine.
Okay.
So if you were going to make cookies and have when your kids got home from school or when your grandbabies come over in the afternoon, you can do all of this prep work that morning. Get your brown butter made, toast your pecans, chop your pecans, get everything measured out.
Yeah.
And then it just takes just a few minutes to mix them up and to roll them out into balls. Well, it takes a while to chill them, so you got to allow for that too.
And how long do you usually leave them on the cookies on the rack to cool?
Probably about 4 minutes, and I think those have probably been on there about 4 minutes.
You want these put on the racks over there,
yes,
right?
And you can move the camera over there so they can see them. I didn't put a popover over there. Can you hold
I
that
can handle it. Well, I was leaving the camera over
here. I do want it back over here in a minute after my stuff starts getting a little bit, and it's already starting to darken.
Okay. You don't hardly even need a spatula with using these cookie mats. Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
They don't. It doesn't stick, and you literally.
Mary, mine is getting brown.
Okay,
If you'll bring it back over
Yeah.
here and show
Okay.
them. I'm sorry, I wanted them to see you, but
Yes.
can you see how it's turning brown now? See, it just gets brown really quick. And
Once it gets a
Yeah,
certain
this is
temperature, it
ready.
starts getting brown.
So
Show them.
I'm going to, you can see that brown in the spoon. It's got that foam on top, but before I pour it in the container, see how beautiful
It
that
doesn't
is?
get thick.
No,
it doesn't get thick.
It doesn't. It
just gets brown.
The brown part settles in your container as it cools.
Right, right. But I just wanted to make sure they didn't stand.
No.
The whole thing is not brown. You know, the foam.
The sediment, the brown
Right.
settles down in the bottom. So I'm going to wash that container so I can.
Well, you sure told me.
Oh no, there's one there I could use. There's one there that I can use.
Okay. All right.
But I
So
don't pour it right in the container.
Yeah.
I let it set for a little bit before
Okay.
I pour it right in
Okay.
there. But
okay.
I'm gonna pour it in this.
Ooh, they smell so good.
I'm just gonna set that under there
Okay.
and put this up here on top of the microwave to cool because we got 4 more cookies to cook. Don't those look good?
Good. Yes, I'm excited about trying one of them. They look so good.
And my sister brought me some beautiful roses. And
Yes,
you haven't put them in a container yet because I've got to get a vase out from under the sink. Aren't those gorgeous? Thank you so much,
Oh, you're
Mary.
welcome, Linda. I'm sorry I didn't put them in a vase.
No, I have a vase.
I bought them on my way, and I just I have so many vases at home, and I just didn't think to bring one.
I
But,
have vases.
And-
I told Mike this morning before he left. I said, "You watch my sister come in here with me some flowers. You just watch her do it." I know my sister, and I knew she was going to bring me some flowers.
And Linda and Mike gave me a little journal. It has love all over the front of it, and a beautiful card and a gift card to Subway. She knows I go to Subway, so thank you, Linda and Mike.
You're welcome. And I had flowers I was going to get,
yeah.
and I said, "No, she likes Subway,
Yes.
so I'm just going to get a Subway
Yes.
card for
Yes.
her." And I love your skirt.
Oh yes. Linda found these skirts on, what is it, Appleseed, and so she's been wearing some, and I said, well, I want some of them skirts. So she ordered her some more, and I said, order me some too, and I'll pay you. So she got me some colored ones too. So
And they're good for the summer.
Yeah.
They're thick. And they have pockets. I love pockets.
Yeah.
And you don't have to wear slip under them. I hate slips. And they'll be really good for summer.
Yeah.
They're not quite as long as some of our blue
No.
jean skirts are,
I
but
like
they're
the
still
length.
a modest
Yeah.
length. They're really good.
but they're
length.
petite. They're petites, aren't they?
Yes, they're petites.
The petites are perfect for us. They still come below your knee, and they're not too long.
And there's a lot of people that have sent us links to places that sell. There's a lot of Pentecostal clothing lines that
yes.
do sell
Yes.
modest clothing.
Right.
But the only thing is they don't sell petites, or
Yeah.
at least I haven't seen any.
Some of them does, but I
And
don't remember which ones.
The ones that I've seen at ladies' conference, you know, they'll come to my ankles, and I'm sorry, y'all, I don't wear skirts to my ankles. The only time I wear a long skirt is if it's freezing cold outside and I need to cover my legs to keep from getting chilled. And I always have 3 or 4 long skirts, warm skirts that I can wear in the wintertime when it is that cold. But I'm much more comfortable in a skirt like a couple of inches below my knee
Yeah.
than I am something that goes. And I know that's not popular. I understand that. That's who I am. I'm 5 feet tall, barely 5 feet tall, and I do not.
Have you been measured lately?
No, I'm
Don't you
probably
think-
not even 5 feet tall.
That's what I think too. I think I've always been 5'1", but
We need to do that. Mary.
yeah, we need to measure ourselves because I know I have shrunk some.
So,
Is it your bones or what is it that makes you shrink like that?
Age.
Age? I guess it's age. But anyway, I want one of these cookies, Linda.
Well, you can try one anytime you want to. So,
I'm like a little kid now. You know, you see these videos of the parents telling them, "Don't you? I'm gonna walk out of the room and don't you touch it." That's about the way I felt. She just left. And I was good mind to take a bite.
Well, you could have. I've got some a fresh gallon of milk in there. You
I
can
don't
get you
want
some
no
milk.
I don't care for any
cookie. I wanted to show y'all something, and y'all, I had to drag these out of the closet. And yes, I am sentimental, and yes, I do save things. I told y'all before that Mike always usually buys me clothes for Valentine's Day. All through our marriage, that's what he's done. He probably won't today. I told him not to get anything. He said, "I sure like the way you're bossing me around." Does that sound like Mike?
Yeah, it does.
But I got these out of the closet and ironed them to show y'all. These are 2 blouses that he bought me in, 83, I think?
I don't remember.
We were living in Fort Worth, and he got them I was actually with him when he bought them, at a little shop on Roof Snow in 820 in North Richland Hills.
I know exactly where it's at.
And
I remember you wearing them.
He bought me a dress too, but I don't know. I may have to go over there to see them, or do you think they can see them from
I think
here?
they can see it.
These are 2 blouses.
We
They're
can,
denim.
if you want to walk over here, I'll put the camera where they can see them closer.
Now this white one has been, you can tell it's been washed a lot of times because it's got a couple of little raggedy places on it. But I want you to look at the buttons.
They're
There's
heart.
a little hole right
The
there.
little buttons are
They're
heart.
all different. All the buttons are different.
Oh, I see that now. I thought that. I
They're
just
all
looked at that
different.
heart.
And then this is the washed denim, and it has the same buttons on it. And yes, I will cut the buttons off and save them. I'm probably not going to throw this blue one away, but I think the white one is about seen its day. But I wanted to show y'all these. They're very old. I've had these many, many, many years.
Yeah,
and
I remember
wore
you-
them
yeah.
a lot of years.
I remember you wearing them.
But I love the eyelet on the sleeves. And on the pockets. I just think they look so pretty and feminine. Okay.
All right. What? Would you like 22 seconds? That next batch of cookies being ready.
And I guess, Mary, I need to give them an update on my visit to the dermatologist the other day. A lot of people have asked. The night before I went, I dreamed they did a biopsy on my head, and they did, up here on my forehead. And then they did and I don't have the results back from it yet. And they did a freeze on a precancerous on my nose. My nose has been through it. I think it's had enough taken off of it. But we'll get this other pan out of the oven. And they're the sweetest people. Well, it's dermatology, and there's more than one good dermatologist in town. It's very, very difficult to get appointments with them. But mine are scheduled every 6 months instead of a year, because anytime you have anything done, you know, they want to see you twice a year. And she did tell me that if this one did come back, that it wouldn't be a bad surgery. So I left feeling pretty good. I felt pretty positive about it. So I know a lot of people had asked, so I just want to update y'all on that. So I guess we need to get a plate. And
I don't need a plate.
One of them.
I don't need a plate.
Well, I'm anxious to see what you think about it. So
Here, let me get this camera where you can see. I can hold one of them cookies in my hand. Here we go, y'all. Thank you, Jesus.
now I didn't get that pecan centered real good. Some of them I didn't.
Just as good as I thought they would be.
Aren't they delicious?
They are delicious when you go eat one.
Can I just take a tiny bite off of yours?
Absolutely.
I just want a bite because I've already eaten. No, I don't want half of it. I've already eaten one the other day when I made a batch. So
It is delicious. Really, really good. I'd have to be careful making these.
they're crunchy on the outside, but they have a little chew in the middle. And you may think they're not done because when you take them out of the oven, that middle is going to be soft.
I know.
But they are. Do not cook them over 12 minutes. You
They are delicious.
don't want to ruin your cookies.
They are delicious.
Now, if you're making smaller cookies, I would adjust that cooking time. Wouldn't you, Mary?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
If you're making little small cookies for your
Yes.
little children or maybe for an older person, well, like we're not old, I would say start it at 8 minutes and check them.
Yeah.
Because it's not going to take them as long to cook.
They're delicious.
And,
Divine.
and I've got some bags at my little machine that we're going to bag these up after they cool, and some Valentine bags, and we're going to fix some more bags today for these to take to a few people. So I hope that y'all have enjoyed this, and please let us know if you make these, what you think about them. And we thank y'all so much for always watching us and commenting, and for all your love and support. And we are going to announce the winner because we don't
Right.
know the winner yet, right?
Yeah, they can text. Oh, no, we don't know who's the winner.
No,
guess.
we don't know. Do we want to tell them what we're giving away?
Yeah, show them what you're giving away.
Okay.
This She'll have to go back on, and I guess just in
Yeah.
comment or something.
This is a bench and bowl scraper set, one of our favorite kitchen
Yes.
sets. It kind of nestles in your utensil drawer. It kind of nestles together if you want to keep them together. This is, to me, it's so much better scraping this out than using a spatula.
It's a lot wider.
Because you get so much out. And you can cut dough with this. You can actually chop with it if you wanted to. It's got measurements on the inches on the end of it. It's got, I guess it's what is that? Inches and centimeters. I was trying to see what that cm was. So you can also measure too. This is just an excellent thing to have in your kitchen.
So you'll just go back and
We'll
post
just go back and I'll post the winner. Now, please, the winner that we call out your name, you got 24 hours, which means this time tomorrow, to get me your address. And when I announce the winner, please text it to my personal phone, 903-238-3993. 903-238-3993. Please don't text me your address unless your name is the winner.
Right.
We almost always have people texting us addresses, but your name has to be called. So we will post the name of the winner, and you've got 24 hours to give me your address, and we'll get it in the mail to you.
Thank y'all so much, and hope y'all have a very happy Valentine's Day today. And if the weather is bad outside, please be careful when you get out. And don't forget to count your blessings. We love y'all.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.